If you are not into hard work, change the channel now. I guarantee that you two can have a huge leap in your triathlon performance. It wasn't rocket science what I did. I think it was really just like 4 simple things. What's up, Trainiacs? I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little grumpy. My MacBook just fell off of a couch that's that high and broke. Done. Toast. On the bright side, I had an excellent Zwift workout this morning. Apparently it rains on Zwift. And had a new FTP. Bike fitness is more or less back where it was at my peak in the summer. And I got an entire winter of getting beastly ahead of me. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Big disclaimer about this video. If you are not into hard work, change the channel now. Go find somebody else. Go, I don't know, find a knitting YouTube channel, something like that. Salty today. Today, we're talking about the year, about 3 or 4 years into my triathlon career, that I said, you know what? I'm gonna dedicate myself to fitness. In the first couple of years of doing triathlon, I was doing about a 126 sprint triathlon. I'd done a 302 and a 253 Olympic. I was anything but spectacular. But going into my 3rd year of triathlon, I wanted to see how fast I could get. And I ended up bringing that time down in a matter of about 3.5 months of dedication, down to the first sprint was a 112, and then I did a 111, and then a 108. And since that time, I've been able to do 108s, 107s, 214 Olympics, a 446 half Ironman. There was that turning point in my triathlon career that I made a huge leap and have managed to keep it. And the lessons that I took in that 3-month period are lessons that anyone could take, because it wasn't rocket science what I did. I think it was really just like 4 simple things that I committed myself to that any of you can commit yourself to. Now, the first thing is that when I was doing those first couple years of triathlon, I was still a little bit pudgy, a little overweight. I'm still a little bit pudgy and overweight, but I was particularly pudgy and overweight. Looking back at those pictures, I was probably somewhere around 175 to 180. Over that winter, I gave up gluten because my dad is celiac. I ate like him just because I went out to the lake and didn't bring any food, so I ate all of his gluten-free food and I felt pretty good. So kept with it for a few days after coming back to the lake. Still felt even better. Continued on with that, and then just magically, my weight went from that 175 to 180 down to about 160 without really changing anything. Now, that's not to say that you have to give up gluten, that's the only way to do it, but it's just to say that if you take a closer look at your diet and you think about where you can get a little bit healthier, maybe try a different diet here or there and see what works for your body, shaving off that excess poundage is a huge leg up on your competition. It's less weight that you've got to lug around the course. It's easier for you to train because there's less pounding on the ground. So you're going to recover faster, you're going to move faster, all good things. The second lesson was that I had a bit of a mental barrier of pain going fast. As soon as I would start running fast or riding fast, I would get that like that little bit of panic feeling that it was going too fast. But what I said was, I gotta break through this mental barrier, this plateau. I gotta push through it. And what I did was I started doing wind sprints across soccer fields or on a track, or I would do really intense bursts of 20 to 30 seconds on a bike trainer. I was basically trying to condition my body that pain was okay. It was okay to feel like that. And it was just more like a survival mechanism that we had that feeling, not any real reason that we weren't able to do it. I just needed to get through that mental hurdle of pain not being okay. And right now, if you are coached by Coach Pat, you better like some pain. The third thing that I did was I committed to doing longer bikes. What I felt was happening in the races is I was getting into an Olympic or a sprint, and by the time I'd get onto the run, my legs would be smashed up because I was doing a half-hour bike here or a 45-minute bike there, but I wasn't putting in long, steady miles on the bike. And if you've heard me talk about it once, you've heard me talk about it a zillion times. Time in the saddle is like a 1-to-1 correlation. The amount of time you put in, the faster you get coming out. So what I committed to was that as long as I wasn't time crunched, having to run to work or a meeting or do something in the evening, every single workout was gonna be at least an hour. And ideally, a really purposeful workout was an hour and a half or 2 hours. That is immensely beneficial when you're talking about going and racing a sprint where the bike is a half an hour, or an Olympic is an hour 15. So all of a sudden I was getting onto the run course and I was like, all right, we just did like a easy peasy bike, no big deal. And then the fourth and final thing that I committed to was I didn't want to be struggling in the water. I'd had enough of struggling to get my way across the pool, of doing a master's swim or a triathlon swim group workout and feeling gassed the entire time. So I broke everything down, and if you haven't seen it yet, go to or wherever it is, triathlontaren.com/swim drill program. I created a swim drill series for myself where I said, you know what, let's just break down the mechanics of swimming and learn how to swim efficiently. So then when I get into the pool, I'm not struggling, I'm not out of breath. All it takes is me being in the pool more and building that pool fitness. Once I did that, I committed to swimming at least 2 times a week, no less. And from all that, I did the math. I got 15% faster. Boom, first race. Granted, it's hard work, but if you do it, I guarantee that you two can have a huge leap in your triathlon performances next year. All right, you know what? Fortunately, I had a Black Friday win and got a MacBook that is sitting at a border town in Pembina, North Dakota. So I do have a MacBook waiting for me. It just bugs me that it broke. Later, Trainiacs, get fast.